Welcome to Western North Carolina. Today we're exploring the towns of Cherokee and Bryson City. We're going to see the Cherokee culture as well as the iconic train in Bryson City. And this is really special. We're attending the 4th of July festival in Bryson City. Before we start our journey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's follow me this way as we start our journey. Every 4th of July, Bryson City celebrates Freedom Fest. The town comes alive since it's one of their biggest events. The festival starts at 10 a.m. and there's a ton to do. Local vendors, nonprofit organizations, activities for kids. One of the cool things here, have a laser tag experience. It looks like a battle cage, which seems like it's super fun for all the kids and family. You name it, it's here. Not surprising since it's one of America's best small town 4th of July celebrations. Oh, and there's live music that runs through the evening, and of course, fireworks. One of the most popular things to do in Bryson City is go on a train ride, a train excursion, and they take you through the Great Smokies. Typically, they run 2 trains a day, and it is a pretty lengthy train ride. It's usually at least a half a day. For huge train enthusiasts, they have a steam and a diesel option. So it just depends on what kind of train you want to ride. And of course they have beer and moonshine train options, which sound really cool. So it just depends on what kind of experience you would like to have, but it's a must-do here. We are in line for barbecue because there's nothing more iconic to have in the South and on the 4th of July. I think Andrea would even agree with me. I think our lunch is now complete with a delicious pulled pork, nachos, and sandwich. And of course you gotta add pickles, barbecue sauce, jalapenos, onions to make it complete. Let's dig in. That barbecue pulled pork definitely hit the spot. But what's even better is we got some mocktails, a blueberry mojito, so Andrea and I are going to enjoy sitting back with a nice drink with a great view of the river. When you come to Bryson City, you definitely have to check out the visitor center. They have a museum upstairs on the 2nd level, completely free, which is a nice perk. They have all these different artifacts, and they show the history of the city back in the mountain days, the pioneer days, to all the way to the modern era. But it's really cool. They have a cabin, which I'm sitting in right now, that you can see what it looked like to live in one of these houses back in the day. So the Heritage Museum was really cool. And one thing I realized as I was going through the museum is it was a lot more than just Bryson City. It was the whole county, which Bryson City sits in, Swain County. And it just showed everything from the beginning of Bryson County, early pioneers, all the way to the modern era. They even showed like the flood from the 40s that occurred in Bryson City. So it's a really cool experience. It's free. Maybe you could spend 10 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how much you want to read. But I would recommend it. It's a quick stop in the visitor center. So far, we've been impressed with Bryson City. It seems super dog friendly, and we love taking Poppy wherever we can. A lot of people have bowls out. Even some of the vendors are coming up and petting Poppy. I mean, everyone just seems very into supporting dogs, which is super important for us. Bryson City is such a great small town. If you come here, obviously the train is a must-do, but if you come here during 4th of July for their Freedom Fest, it can be overwhelming. We recommend spending maybe 2 to 3 hours checking out all the vendors, maybe the laser tag, the visitor center museum. It's just so much to do. But that concludes our time here. We're going to check in at Cherokee, so I'll see you there. When you come to Cherokee, you're often reminded that that is a small part of what was once a big nation. One of the signs that we saw coming into Cherokee was Kituwah, which used to be their mother town. This used to be the capital of their town. Unfortunately, it was destroyed, but it's just a reminder of how big the Cherokee Nation used to be. The Museum of the Cherokee Indian is one of the must-do things in the town of Cherokee. Obviously, it has everything from the Cherokee culture and history from the beginning to the end, including the Trail of Tears, which is super sad in Indian and Cherokee history. But it's a thing that you can take your family. It roughly takes maybe 2 to 3 hours to complete, but it's definitely worth checking out if you have time. Something you definitely have to see right outside the museum is they have a big statue of Sequoyah, who is the Cherokee genius that created their alphabet. It has about 88 characters and as a non-native speaker, I can't even imagine trying to learn that language. And it was carved from one piece of a sequoia tree, which makes it super symbolic and really impressive that it just came from one log. Around the base is the 7 clans of the Cherokee tribe, and it's really impressive. Some of them are based off of animals, some of them are based off of different things, but they each mean something. Like one clan is for healers, one clan is for runners, one clan is for like storytellers and historians. So it's really cool how they incorporated that in the sculpture. Right across from the museum is the Qualla Arts and Crafts Mutual, which, just like the name suggests, has artwork as well as basketry, which they're most famous for, from the Cherokee Nation. Back in the 40s, members of the Cherokee tribe started this collaborative in order to not only sell artwork and promote artists' work, but they also wanted to keep the artwork and skills for future generations. So they have a museum there. They also have classes that they teach younger generations how to do some of the basket weaving and other artwork. So it's a really cool stop that you can enjoy the museum as well as maybe purchase a souvenir. The Great Bear Hunt. Who doesn't like a good scavenger hunt? There are 7 different bears, sculptures, scattered all over the town of Cherokee. And what's even cooler is that if you scan the QR code from each bear and take it to the visitor center, they'll give you a souvenir. So it's a great way for family, kids to be very interactive and see different parts of the town of Cherokee. And it's no wonder that they used a bear, as it was a huge symbol of strength and honor with the Cherokee Nation. One of the things that you notice when you drive through Cherokee is that the signs are in English as well as Cherokee. They are really making a huge effort to bring Cherokee as a language back. They even make it required in school. So this is really interesting with the Trail of Tears, that the community of Qualla town, which used to be part of the Cherokee Nation but separated in 1820, were fortunate enough that they didn't have to evacuate their land because they weren't part of the Cherokee Nation. And in 1838 started the Trail of Tears, which not only tribes from here but tribes from all over eastern U.S. were forced to relocate, and a lot of people unfortunately passed away because of it. It's just really sad and kind of a black spot in American history. When you come to Cherokee, there are so many things to do, such as the museum, as well as the Indian village. But one of the things that Andrea and I wanted to do was come to their summer bonfire. And it's just a phenomenal experience. One of the tribe members from the Cherokee Indian Nation comes and he shares his culture as well as stories, the dress, the games, everything. It's a great way to dive into the culture and experience it for yourself. So we definitely give this as a thing to do while you're in Cherokee. And oh yeah, I almost forgot, it's free. So that's another great perk of coming to the summer bonfire.
So shio, there you go. Now say ski. There you go, that means thank you. Now say well done. That means you're welcome. Now, if you got children, grandchildren, maybe just a niece and a nephew, they're misbehaving, doing something they're not supposed to, you would say chesti. Now, that means stop behaving. Now, if they don't get it right off the bat, don't feel bad. My kids hear it in both languages, still don't know what it means. But like I said, guys, now I'm not fluent. I wish I was. When I was real little, my grandmother She tried to teach me a little bit, but I was too young. I wasn't interested. Now that I'm getting older, I wish I did. But it's a very hard language to learn. There is what, 26 characters in the alphabet, right? Something like that, 26. Okay. Well, our syllabary, we are the actually, now they say it's an alphabet, and we are the only tribe with its own written language. And it's not an alphabet, it's a syllabary. And depending on how you pronounce it, one syllable, depending on how you say it, can mean one or two different things. And there's 88 syllables in our syllabary. And like I said, it's a very hard language to learn. And I am very proud to say that in some colleges, you can take it as a course now. You can take Cherokee language as a course now. Now, in a Cherokee man's hand, this is a very dangerous weapon. And it's such a dangerous weapon that it carries 3 or 4 different names. But the one that I use is a Donna Washington. That means the maker of war. Now, when you get your war club, now every man is a warrior. But when you get your war club, you never let your women and your children touch your war club. Children, they don't need to know nothing of war. They need to worry about being kids. Women, they are the givers of life. And this is the taker. So they do not touch your war club. Now, folks, when the English, now I got asked this the other day, how I felt about how they did us. And I look at it like this. When they come over, they was lost, they were hungry, they didn't know how to navigate the mountains. We clothed them, we fed them, we taught them how to navigate. And even if we knew how they were going to do us, we still would have helped them. Because that's the type of people we are. Now, like I was saying, I really don't dwell on it because you can't change the past. You just got to make your future better than what it should be, or the best you can make it. That's the way I look at it. So I really don't dwell on it. I really don't think about it. You can't change it. So why sit there and be mad about it? You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure the museum is fantastic, but personally, I think the summer bonfire is fantastic. You're hearing a personal account from a member of the Cherokee tribe, and it's just hard to beat that because you're getting their hands-on story about their history, their culture, and it's just phenomenal. If we have maybe a little bit extra time, maybe we'll check out the museum, but if you personally have time, definitely check out the summer bonfire. Andrea and I had a blast in Bryson City as well as Cherokee. There is just so much stuff to do. Bryson City, they have a fun festival, the train, of course, many outdoor things to do. Cherokee, so many outdoor things to do. The Indian Village, you also have museums. But, I mean, it's just overwhelming. I think our favorite things were probably the festival in Bryson City as well as the bonfire. But as the Cherokee would say, this is not goodbye, because that means forever. It means come back soon. So we're going to be heading on to our next adventure in Asheville. And before I forget, if you have a little bit extra time, the Blue Ridge Parkway is a beautiful drive that you can check out along this area as well. But stay tuned for our next adventure. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But until next time, keep on exploring.
Do you think it's mad that we're invading its space?
Probably. Although it hasn't dive bombed us.
Mockingbirds do that.
Blue jays do too.